The Haunting Valentine's Day Gift. Hey, gather around for a bone-chilling Valentine's Day tale that unfolded on a night meant for love, but turned into a haunting experience. This eerie story is as true as the unsettling feeling you get when the shadows seem to move on their own. It all started on a chilly Valentine's Day evening. Mark, a hopeless romantic, decided to surprise his girlfriend, Sarah, with a vintage music box he found at an antique store. The ornate craftsmanship and the haunting melody it played made it a unique and thoughtful gift. Excited to see the joy on Sarah's face, Mark presented the mysterious music box to her during a candlelit dinner. The couple enjoyed a romantic evening, but little did they know that the enchanting gift would soon turn their night into a nightmare. As they settled in for the night, the music box, now placed on a dresser across the room, started playing its haunting melody on its own. Mark and Sarah exchanged puzzled glances, attributing it to a quirky malfunction. They chuckled nervously and brushed it off, assuming it was just a glitch. However, as the night progressed, the music box continued to play sporadically, its haunting tune echoing through the room. The couple, now on edge, decided to investigate. Mark approached the dresser to inspect the music box, but as he reached out to stop it, the melody abruptly ceased. Relieved, they returned to bed, hoping it was the end of the strange occurrence. Little did they know, the night was far from over. In the dead of the night, they were jolted awake by the music box playing once again, this time with an unsettling urgency. The melody seemed distorted, as if conveying a message from beyond. Terrified, Mark and Sarah stared at the music box as it played on its own, the room filled with an eerie atmosphere. That's when they heard whispers, faint, ghostly voices that seemed to be intertwined with the haunting melody. Frozen in fear, they listened to the whispers, unable to discern the words but feeling an otherworldly presence enveloping them. The room became icy cold, and the atmosphere felt charged with a paranormal energy. The next morning, the music box returned to its silent state, leaving Mark and Sarah with a lingering sense of unease. They couldn't shake off the feeling that the antique music box harbored something beyond the realm of the living. To this day, the couple keeps the music box tucked away, a relic of a Valentine's Day that turned from romantic to downright spine-chilling. So, the next time you stumble upon an antique with a mysterious history, remember this tale and think twice before bringing an eerie Valentine's Day surprise into your home. Love might conquer all, but some gifts come with a haunting melody that echoes through the corridors of time. Stay spooky and happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day story that actually happened to me a few years back. So I had this date lined up on Valentine's Day, right? We decided to keep it casual and meet at this old, charming cafe in town. As I waited at our agreed-upon spot, a strange vibe filled the air. I noticed an old guy staring at me from across the street. Whatever, I thought. Maybe he's just people watching. My date finally arrived, and we headed into the cozy cafe. Things were going surprisingly well, until we noticed the same old guy sitting alone at a corner table staring at us. It was unsettling, but we brushed it off as a weird coincidence. As we finished our coffee, the old man approached us. He had this eerie grin on his face and handed me a faded, heart-shaped card. I opened it, and inside was a cryptic message that sent shivers down my spine. It was something like, "Love that begins on this day will end in darkness." We tried to laugh it off, but the atmosphere changed. The old man disappeared as quickly as he came, leaving us both on edge. As we left the cafe, I felt a chill down my spine, like we were being watched. Later that night, my date and I parted ways. But the unease lingered. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Days turned into weeks, and my date became distant, eventually ghosting me completely. I stumbled upon a news article about a mysterious figure who had been spreading ominous messages around town. The old man matched the description, and the chilling part: every couple he approached on Valentine's Day ended up breaking up soon after. It's been years, but that Valentine's Day still gives me the creeps. So, moral of the story: watch out for ominous old men handing out cryptic cards on Valentine's Day. Love might not conquer all, especially if it begins with a dose of darkness. Stay safe out there.
The Unseen Valentine. This isn't your typical romantic tale. It's a real-life horror story that still gives me shivers. It was Valentine's Day, and I was living alone in a cozy apartment. I wasn't really into the whole lovey-dovey scene, so I planned a quiet night in with some takeout and a good movie. As I settled in for the night, I started hearing faint knocking on my door. At first, I thought it was just the neighbors, but the knocking persisted. I cautiously approached the door and looked through the peephole, but there was no one there. Weirded out, I went back to my movie, trying to shake off the eerie feeling. But then things took a creepy turn. I started receiving mysterious love letters under my door. Each note was signed with a heart, but there was no clue as to who the secret admirer could be. The letters escalated in intensity, describing intimate details about my life that no stranger should know. Panic set in as I realized I was being watched. I reported it to the police, but they couldn't do much without concrete evidence. On Valentine's Day itself, the letters took a dark turn. They began to reference my every move, even things I hadn't shared with anyone. The stalker seemed to know my deepest fears, and the letters turned threatening. One night, I heard a whisper outside my window. I gathered my courage and peeked through the blinds. To my horror, a shadowy figure stood in the darkness, staring up at me. My heart raced as I fumbled to call the police. When they arrived, the stalker was long gone. The police increased patrols in the area, but the letters continued. It felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Eventually, I had to move to a new place, leaving behind the fear that had consumed my life. To this day, I have no idea who my unseen Valentine was or what they wanted. The experience left me scarred, and every Valentine's Day, I can't shake the feeling that someone, somewhere, is still watching. So, if you ever receive an anonymous Valentine, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes, love letters can turn into a real-life horror story that haunts you forever. Stay safe out there.